Good afternoon, gentlemen. We're going to do a training video on the Danfoss controller 255. We're going to just do an overview. We're going to start with lighting first because maybe there's some MST techs here that may want to learn how to tell where a board point is. So we'll go over that and then we'll get into refrigeration, HVAC. Alright, so let's start with lighting. Highlight it, go into it. Your first page you'll have lighting zones, lighting service, and configure lighting. We can click lighting zones here. I'm going fast here. It gives you an overview of your 4 lighting zones here. So at this store 2388 we got sales lights, stock lights, case lights, outside lights. So that may or may not be parking lot lights, but it's probably canopies at least. From here we could click one of these and go in, and if you look, it'll give you information about it, the state, what your photo cell is, which state of your control relay, your schedules, its previous schedule and the next schedule it's going to follow, your run times and cycles and all that data. You could also go here to history and you can see, maybe I went too fast. Let me go here. Go down to the bottom and click the camera, and that will take you to your history. So it shows you what your photo cell's been doing. It shows you the state of the relay. So if you look up in this area here, the top, it'll tell you what section means, what each section means. So number 1 right here, photo cell. Number 2, security alarm. Number 3, outside lights. And number 4, photo cell OD. It looks like this is just a repeat, so we just need to focus on these first 3 here. So if you want to look back in your history and see what your lighting has been doing throughout the night, you can just hit this arrow right here at the bottom and go back, go back, go back. And see, it's not going back very fast. It's pretty much staying the same. That's because our rate is at 1 minute. We can highlight that and edit it, and we could change it from 2 minutes all the way to 1 day. So let's make this a little faster. Let's bring it up to 10 minutes here. So now we can go back even faster, and we see right there the photo cell changed and the lights are on. So let's go forward here. So we can say it looks 7:40, the lights were on, and now they're turned off. All right, so we can keep going back. Oh, there we go. And we can see at 4:30 they were off, and now they are on. All right, pretty simple. So we won't go any more into that. Now let's go over here. Let's see. That's the status. We go to the bottom here. We can see your settings. So that is just your photo cell setting right there, when it's going to trip on and off. Go to this little clock right here. That is going to be your schedules. This is the schedule it runs right here. So this first schedule, standard 4:30, 11 p.m. and also has a second schedule. It runs 4:30, 8 a.m. So the controller will, at 4:30 p.m. will turn these lights on, and then at 11 p.m. it will turn them off, and then 4:30 a.m. they will come on, and then at 8 a.m. they will go off in the morning. So the next thing here, you can go to the little tool bar at the bottom, click that. It shows you these zone state is auto off. If this said remote on, that would mean the Danfoss relay has been manual on site. So if it's in that state and you're trying to get the lights off, or maybe it says remote off and you're trying to get the lights on, you're going to have to find the board and point where that relay is. So to do that, you want to click auto manual, well no, that's just going to take, you want to go to board and point locations. So if I'm trying to figure out where the outside lights are on my Danfoss board, I would first click the little toolbar down there with the little tools, and then come up, go to board point locations, and you can see we have all the points for the lighting. So we got cells, stock, case, outside lights, and we got board 1, so that would be node 1, that's the little comm module on the relay on the Danfoss lineup. Then board 2, that would be the relay pack, so that would be the second relay pack on the lineup. So you'll have a little node, and then you'll have a relay pack, and then you'll have another relay pack. So it's going to be a second relay pack, and then it's going to be point number 1. So it's going to be the first switch on that relay pack. And from there, you can manual on or manual off the lights. So same way we were at case outside lights, that's what we're looking for. So node 1, relay pack 2, point number 4 on the relay pack. All right. So that's pretty much all I can go over. I can go over the relays. From here you can manual stuff on, but you don't have access to that. Energy management's not going to let you have access to that. Sensor adjustment, from here we can adjust put an offset in the photocell if the photocell's not reading correctly, but if it's not, we should just replace it. Not really anything else here that we need to look at. We'll go back. Lighting service, that's just a quick way to get to the lighting zones here. You can see the status, click the outside light, and then we're back to that page we were before, where you can get to the board point locations. So I don't think there's much more to see in here. We can go to verify sensors. It's just, yeah, there's not much more. There's configure lighting. This is how your lighting is set up. Most people shouldn't have much to do with it, but you could go in this and see what the setup is, how it's configured, how it's programmed in the Danfoss. So got all this information in here to see how this these lights are set up here. So you got delays, post delays, minimum on time, minimum off time, which is at 0. There's none. No override switch, etc. Keep paging down. And all I'm doing too is I'm just, when I keep going down, I'm hit setup here. I keep paging down there at the bottom. So I may be going a little too fast, but I can page down and get the information, and then I back out. It's a little different when you're doing the controller from the rack or from the motor room, but it's easy to navigate. Sometimes you got to use the edit button to change things, but for MST techs you won't be able to edit much stuff. There are alarms down here. You can see if there's any alarms. Let's see, I gotta have a code to get in that, so you won't be able to get into it. I don't think there's any lighting alarms set up. But that's a good overview of the lighting. So we're going to go ahead and end this video, and hopefully I will make some more to come. Thanks.